Good morning to my beloved lecturer, Miss Gungtri. And today I will present about the analyzing of my correlation study draft proposal. And before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Kadek Kardiyasa Tirtana Putra, NPM 0013. So for the identity, the title that I choose was the correlation between motivation and reading comprehension of the seventh grade student of SMPN 10 Denpasar in academic year 2025-2026. The author was me, Kadek Kardiyasa Putra, and the variable divided into two. The independent variable was motivation, and the dependent variable was reading comprehension. And then let's move to the chapter 1, introduction. Okay, for research background, there is two things, which is dasolen and dase. Dasolen is a norm and expectation, and dase is the reality. So for the dasolen, in this study, according to Linz 2005, page 69, reading is a set of skills that involves making sense and deriving meaning from the print word. And then based on Johnson, 2008, page 3, reading is the practice of using text to create meaning. And then Bresel and Rasinski, 2008, page 16, state that comprehension is the ability to know or grasp ideas with the mind. And then motivation has an important role in improving reading comprehension by Gungtri, Tonks, and Wakefield, 2007. For the DASE, the first research was conducted by INA 2023, entitled The Correlation Between Motivation and Reading Comprehension of the 8th grade students of SMP Widya Sakti Denpasar. Then the second research was conducted by Dharmayanti 2022, entitled The Correlation Between Student Motivation and Reading Comprehension of the 10th grade students of SMPN 1 Abian Semal. Both of the research show that motivation had a significant effect in increasing students' reading comprehension. And then about the research problem. The research problem description according to Thakur 2021 is the primary research question that must be researched and answered. The researcher's question in this study can be formulated as follows. Is there any significant correlation between motivation and reading comprehension of the 7th grade student of SMPN 10 Denpasar in academic year 2025-2026? And then objective of the study. The objective of the study was intended to figure out whether there is any significant correlation between motivation and reading comprehension of the 7th grade students of SMPN 10 Denpasar in academic year 2025-2026. Next, the limitation of the study. The researcher will focus on the correlation between motivation and reading comprehension of the 7th grade student of SMPN 10 Denpasar in academic year 2025-2026. Motivation was limited in positive type orientation, ego involvement, need or achievement, high inspiration, goal orientation, perseverance, and tolerance of ambiguity. Furthermore, reading comprehension aspect that the researcher focused in the study are identifying general information, specific information, textual reference, and textual meaning. Next is the significance of the study. In the study, the researcher hopes that this research will be useful for English language learning, both theoretical and practical. Theoretically, these research findings are expected to be a guideline or reference for further research related to motivation and reading comprehension. And practically, the results of this study are expected to be useful for English teachers, students, and other researchers. Next is definition of the key terms. Motivation in this research. In this research, motivation refers to how high the internal drive of the seventh grade student of SMPN school Denpasar to keep them interested in reading and comprehending a descriptive paragraph. And the second is reading comprehension. Reading comprehension in this research proposal is defined as the ability of seventh grade students of SMPN school Denpasar in this academic year 2000, in the academic year 2025-2026 to identify general information, specific information, textual meaning, and textual reference of the descriptive paragraph provided. Okay. Next, we move to chapter 2, the theoretical and critical review. Okay. The theoretical review, the first one about motivation. According to Harmer, 2007, page 98, motivation is some kind of internal drive which pushes someone to do things in order to achieve something. And then, according to Parnawi 2020, page 68, motivation has several functions, such as a motivator of action, a driver of action, and as a director of action. And Naiman et al. In UR 1996, page 275, state that there are 7 characteristics of students. Student motivation, such as positive task orientation, ego involvement, need for achievement, high aspiration, goal orientation, perseverance, tolerance, and tolerance of ambiguity. Next, about reading comprehension. Linz 2005, page 71, state that reading comprehension refers to reading for meaning, understanding, and entertainment. Reading comprehension construct as general information, specific information, textual meaning, and textual reference. In summary, reading comprehension is how the reader understands and interprets the meaning contained in the passage. And last is descriptive paragraph. Descriptive paragraph is paragraph that aim to describe something in detail. According to Osima and Huck, 2007, page 61, a good description is a word picture. The reader can imagine the object, place, or person in his or her mind. Descriptive paragraph have 3 main parts, namely identification, description, and conclusion. Descriptive paragraph can be used to describe people, events, or things. And now let's move on to the empirical review. The first research was conducted by INA 2023, entitled The Correlation Between Motivation and Reading Comprehension of the 8th grade student of SMP Widya Sakti Denpasar in academic year 2022-2023. The strength of this research was in the research finding, and the other positive thing is the word that used by the researcher was simple and easy to understand. However, there are many errors in writing, such as spacing that is too close and writing indented in paragraphs too far, not too far, not in accordance with thesis guideline. Novelty of your research. Novelty of my research. The researcher adjusts is research writing to the applicable proposal and thesis guidelines so that it looks neat. Then the second research was conducted by Dharmayanti 2022 entitled The Correlation Between Students' Motivation and Reading Comprehension of the 10th grade students of SMAN 1 Abian Semal in academic year 2021-2022. The positive thing or the strength of this research was in the data analysis. And then the research is neatly written. However, the language chosen was hard to understand. So the novelty of my research, the researchers choose to use word choices that are understandable but still in academic context. Okay, next is the hypothesis. There are two types of hypothesis. The first one is HA, which is there is a significant correlation between motivation and reading comprehension of the 7th grade student of SMPN 10 Denpasar in academic year 2025-2026. And the H0 HANUL or HANUL, there is no significant correlation between motivation and reading comprehension of the 7th grade students of SMPN 10 Denpasar in academic year 2025-2026. Next, move to the chapter 3, which is research method. The first one is research design. According to Bordens and Abbott 2011, page 104, correlation research is a type of research used to determine whether two or more variables are related and to determine what relationship exists between these variables. This present study, which was concerned with the correlation between motivation and reading comprehension of the 7th grade student of SMPN 10 Denpasar in academic year 2025-2026, used a correlational study as the research design. Next is population and sample. The population of the study is all of the 7th grade students of SMPN 10 Denpasar in academic year 2025-2026, which has 400 students divided into 10 classes of 40 students each. So each class have 40 students, so the total student was 400. And next, the sample. The researcher used cluster sampling, which is the minimum acceptable sample size is 2000% by Frankel and Wellen 2012. So the 20% of 400 students was 80 students or 2 classes. So this the classes will be chosen by spin wheel, and the results are the class that appear in the spin wheel are the class 7C and 7J. Next is the research instrument. The research instrument is to measure motivation. Oh no, I mean the research instrument that I use to measure the motivation is questionnaire by Prayogi et al. 2021. And then to measure reading comprehension, the researcher used short answer task by Brown and Abewikrama 2008. This can be found in the Brown and Abewikrama book 2008. Next is research instrument. The blueprint of motivation questionnaire. Here you can see that there are 7 aspects of motivation. which is positive task orientation, ego involvement, need for achievement like aspiration, goal orientation, perseverance, and tolerance of ambiguity. Each aspect can divide it into positive and negative item, which the total of the seven aspect will be made into 30 items or 30 question in the question. How to uh, how to measure it? The researcher used the Likert scoring table, which is in the positive statement. If the student choose strongly agree, it they will give 5 score, and then agree 4 score, undecided 3 score, disagree 2 score, and strongly disagree 1 score. And then for the negative statement, if the student choose strongly agree, they will get 1, and then for agree they will get 2, undecided they will get 3, disagree they will get 4, and strongly disagree they will get 5. So there are the student can choose which about the statement they strongly agree or sangat setuju, and then agree, setuju, undecided, ragu-ragu, disagree, tidak setuju, and strongly disagree, sangat tidak setuju. And the score is like this in the based on the Likert scoring table. Next is the blueprint of reading comprehension test. The blueprint of reading comprehension tests, there are 4 aspects of reading, which is general information, specific information, textual reference, and textual meaning. And then each aspect have several questions. For example, general information, the total items or question is 9, which can found in number 1, 6, 11, 16, 17, 21, 25, 26, and 27. And it's different than the specific information, textual reference, textual meaning. So the total of the items or question is are 30. And how to measure it? The researcher used the scoring rubric of short answer task adapted from Brown 2018, page 238. So if the answer and the grammar are correct, they will get 2 points. And the answer is correct, but the grammar is wrong, or vice versa, they will get 1 point. And then the answer and the grammar is incorrect, they will get 0 point. Okay. Next is the data collection. The data about the student's motivation are gathered by using questionnaire, which consists of 30 items and are filled through Google Form. And then the data about students' reading comprehension are gathered by using short answer tasks that made on the Microsoft Word, and the students must answer it in a piece of paper. So for to find student motivation, the researcher used Google Form, and then about to measure reading comprehension the students reading comprehension. The researcher used Microsoft Word to give the question, and the students must answer in a piece of paper. Next is the data analysis. First is prerequisite testing. Prerequisite testing Prerequisite testing is a basic analysis requirement before doing hypothesis testing, including normality and homogeneity tests, which is important to do the inferential analysis. Okay. The first is normality test. The normality test is supplementary to the graphical assessment of normality. The hypothesis for the normality test is as follows. Okay? If psi more than 0.05, it means the data distribution is normal. But if psi less than 0.05, it means the data distribution is not normal. Second is homogeneity test. In this research, the researcher used statistical computation by using statistical package for social science, or SPSS 25.00 for homogeneity for the test. The hypothesis for the homogeneity test is as follows. If psi more than 0.05, the variance of the data is homogeneous. But if psi less than 0.05, the variance of the data is not homogeneous. Okay. Next, there is a hypothesis testing. Hypothesis testing was conducted to analyze whether there is a correlation between motivation and reading comprehension of seventh-grade students of SMPN School Denpasar in academic year 2025-2026. The first is Pearson product moment. Pearson product moment correlation is used to analyze the data in this study. After all of the data is calculated using the formula of Pearson product moment correlation, the researcher interprets the score using the index of correlation. And second is t-test. The t-test is used to find out how the influence of the independent variables used in this study individually and applying partially dependent variables. The basis of for this decision is as follows. If the significant value is more than 0.05, then the hypothesis is accepted. If the significant value is less than 0.05, then the hypothesis is also accepted. And uh, in the study, the researchers have used a lot of references, which is, as you can see, the researcher used Bordens and About 2011, Bresel Rosinski 2008, Brown and Abikram 2018, Frankel and Wellen 2012, Guthrie, Towns and Whipple 2007, Harmer 2007, Johnson 2008, Lins 2005, Oshiman 2007, Karnawi 2020, Prawiyogi, Sadia Purwanagraha and Elisa 2021, Singh 2006, Thakur 2021, and Ur 1996. Okay. I think that's all about my presentation about analyzing the correlational draft proposal of me. Thank you and have a nice day.